showing you a little video about how to use some of the tools in the classroom that we'll be using and kind of explain them a little bit. Our first one that we're going to be using is the triple beam balance. This helps us to measure the mass of something. We call it triple beam because I don't know if you can tell. There are the ones, we have the tens in the back, and then the hundreds. So depending on the size of the object, we might have to use certain sizes. So I'm going to kind of zoom in on that a little bit. Now let's say I have a crystal, it's actually a salt crystal basically, and I want to know its mass. I'm going to make sure everything is to the side and that the level right here is matching the line. And once it's doing that, you can go ahead and put that salt crystal on there. Now sometimes people use like their little fingertip, and you're going to basically move this until that line right here becomes level again. So I'm going to move it, keep moving. Sometimes you overshoot it, so I'm getting close, and it'll go down. You just need to go back this way a little bit more. But I believe I'm really close, so if you can see, it's 8.1 grams. Okay? So we use grams in science. It's the SI unit for mass. All right, our next thing, and whenever you carry a triple beam balance, you always want to hold it with two hands, and you never want to push on this or put anything that is way too heavy for it. It will have a problem. And if you get your scale and this isn't lining up when it's sitting, then you need to let us know because it needs to be calibrated. Now another unit of tool that we'll be using, this is called a graduated cylinder. It's called a graduated cylinder because obviously it's a cylinder. Graduated means it has all these lines on it, and it tells you. We measure the SI unit for volume is liters, and this is in milliliters. So what you do is you put some water into this graduated cylinder. If I want to figure out the volume of something, you look at the bottom of the meniscus. That's the bubble. So if I look at the bottom of where that bubble is, you will see it's basically about 70. At 70, I can't keep it level right there. But when I put it down flat, I can look at it from the side, and I can see that actually it's not 70, it is 62 milliliters. So I put in this crystal. I want to know the volume of it. It rises to exactly 70 milliliters. So now I take 70 from 62, which means this is actually 8 milliliters. Now we usually don't for solids say milliliters. We actually, there's a direct conversion. We'll say cubic centimeters, because 1 cubic centimeter equals 1 milliliter. So that kind of makes things easy. Moving right along, temperature. We measure the temperature of things with the thermometer. So if I want to know the temperature of this water, I actually will put the thermometer in. I'll let it sit for a little while. Actually, I'm going to grab another one of these here. That one had a bubble in it, and that is an indicator that it is not working. Now, these thermometers are in Celsius and Fahrenheit. In science, we usually use Celsius. Fahrenheit we use for the weather. When we say water boils at 100 degrees, that's in Celsius. Now, if you're heating up something, you always want to hold the thermometer like midway, else you're going to get an inaccurate temperature. And when I hold this, I see in Celsius, we're about 23 degrees Celsius. So I look for where that red line is. Okay, and I think you can see that right there. Okay. Another thing that we use in class for measuring the time is a stopwatch. And usually we measure it in seconds or we measure it in minutes. So you'll always have to kind of mess with it to get it zeroed out like that. And then let's say we're measuring how long it takes a student to run from their locker to my classroom to see that they're not tardy. I'd hit it. I'd wait until they make it to their destination. I'd hit it again. It would show me this one was 4 seconds. Oops, I'm having a problem with that. 4 seconds. We've got this. This is a meter stick. I know that a lot of you guys are used to inches, but in science we use centimeters or meters. So if I'm measuring the length or width of something, I can just take this meter stick, or we can use smaller rulers for something like this, and we just line it up, and we can see that this is about 7.5 centimeters. So the width of this is about 7.5 centimeters. The last tool, and these are tools that we'll be using throughout the whole school year, so this is just to help you out with getting ahead. This is a spring scale. It's measured in newtons. That's the SI unit for the force of gravity. We're basically going to see how much gravity it takes for this glass right here. So if I let it hang and I look at the force right there, I'm going to look at it so I can see. It's about 0.5, oops, no. This might be calibrated wrong. This is about 5 newtons, which is actually about the size of a medium apple, which was where newtons came from, Sir Isaac Newton, when the apple hit the head. So that's it. I appreciate you guys taking the second to look at how to use these tools. With the spring scale, I forgot that this is for the boys. We don't use it as a measurement of how strong we are, because that will break the spring in this, and then we won't be able to use this anymore. So I look forward to all the labs that we're going to have using these measurement tools. Bye.